It's hard enough being an artist and getting art commissions, isn't it? But now these AI users came with no skills and no original thoughts and no talent whatsoever, and they just snatched up all your clients and money, right? But honestly, that's not why you lost money in business. Welcome to the Art Mindset. My name is Sean, and while these are definitely turbulent times as an artist, AI is just a scapegoat for your bad practices, and AI just highlighted them. But I want to help you recover that lost income because I've been talking about these concerns for years. So let me ask you this first question. How did you come to your current practices? Who told you that? What made them a good source of information for you? Why were they a good role model? This is stuff I'm going to talk to you about in this video because it's stuff that nobody really talks about. And this all relates to this singular idea. Honestly, 90% of freelancing artists out here, they're trying to get projects from individual private clients, are doing a really unprofessional job at it, and they just have no idea what they're doing. Y'all, it's like there's a whole bunch of people that are just begging for some piece of a pie out there instead of following some sense of decorum. It's not that hard to do it, and if you do it, you're gonna be able to get more money, more respect, more notoriety, and you're actually gonna be able to grow a great business. You're gonna be able to actually supplement your income. You're gonna be able to grow your own income, and it's gonna be amazing for you. But instead of doing that, we're trying to get on and build more and more of these websites that just aren't good for you. Like, have you heard of Artistry? A lot of people jumping onto this. I've seen a lot of YouTubers plugging this one too lately, but just to be honest with you, it's a terrible website and you should get off of it if you're on there right now. If you actually want to hear my entire thoughts on this, let me know about it down below because I'm happy to make that video for you. But definitely watch your practices and just ask yourself this, friend, are you really presenting yourself in all aspects like a professional artist, or are you presenting yourself like a complete amateur? So whenever you talk to artists that aren't getting any type of work, they're not bringing in any type of income off their artwork, and they're just not getting clients, I guarantee you the first thing that they're going to bring up is some form of marketing and something to the effect of how the market is just too saturated, there's too many people out there, and now AI just threw a monkey wrench into the entire system. You are producing a red ocean effect where there's just an overabundance of really cheap artwork. And what you're doing here is you're trying to just get something rather than nothing. And I understand that mindset, but I want to challenge it for you too, because if you have that mindset, what you're doing is you're selling for less than you actually deserve. And more importantly than that, at what cost is that to you, friend? Really, because if you are going to just put out your artwork that you really crafted for so long, and you're going to put it for a super cheap price, okay, then you are battling not for who gets the best clients and who actually gets respected there. You're battling for who's able to disrespect themselves and who's able to degrade themselves to such an extent that you're going to win over the client that honestly isn't even going to care that much because they only care about their bottom line. And that's why your pricing has to be a major concern for you, friend. And we're going to talk about that today big time because I want you to be respected. I want you to stand above all these AI users trying to do what you can do, but you need to realize what you can do in order to price what you deserve. Now, if you're trying to get yourself a business running, if you're trying to get some clients, you're trying to get your art commissions, right? Here's the number one thing that I'm going to tell you is the number one barrier between you and getting a client that you want, and that's your examples. So I just want to ask you, have you really sat down and thought about what your examples are, how they present themselves, what that looks like to somebody that doesn't even know you, that doesn't live anywhere around you, right? So are your examples all scattered? Does it look like an art school portfolio that just has no rhyme or reason or direction? Because to be honest with you, friend, most people are going to try and put out just anything that they do. Here's a portrait, here's a pet artwork, here's a painting, here's a collage, here's a photo bash, and here's some airbrush digital artwork, and they're gonna hope that they get somebody off of that. But here's the thing, y'all, it's not the client's job to look at your large variety of artwork and then to derive how it's gonna fit them. No, friend, you need to show them the direction. You need to show them what you are capable of. And the only way you're gonna do that, friend, is not by casting a wider net, which most people will advise you on. Instead, friend, what you wanna do is you wanna sharpen your spear, know your target, and land it every single time. And that's why you need to know two things. You need to know your niche, and then you also need to know your style and genre. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I made two videos that have helped hundreds of people just like you do this better, which are down below here. So definitely check those out. It's gonna help you majorly. So tell me if this looks familiar to you. Around the time the AI really became prevalent, did you notice how many people started to put out memes about like, oh, well, I got 84 commissions last year, and this year now I'm down to 23, and darn you AI, you took all my clients. But here's the real problem, y'all. If you actually had 84 commissions, I promise you this, you're undercharging yourselves. And I just don't understand it. Like if you just sat at $25 to $50 and you got 84 commissions, you should be charging somewhere in the neighborhood of honestly like $200 to $500 every single one, and you get less than that. I just really need to ask you this, friend, okay? Why are you devaluing decades and decades of hard, intense training, hard-earned labor, hard-earned skills for less than minimum wage? Y'all, there are people working at McDonald's that are getting paid more per hour than you are on your artwork, but for some reason, you think that you don't deserve that. And that's a real deep personal problem that I wanna help you through here, friend, because if you wanna make it through the current surge of AI-generated slop that's coming out and taking some really cheap clients here, y'all, here's what I wanna let you know. Thank you AI. That's what I want your attitude to be. Thank you AI for taking really cheap artwork so that you don't have to. Because here's what the biggest problem is that there's a low value perception when somebody sees a low price tag. You don't want people to fall in love with your pricing, no friend. You want them to fall in love with your product. You want them to fall in love with you and working with you, and you want them to fall in love with your experience on that. And that's something that AI users cannot do over you, an actual human artist, because you have awesome original ideas and you have unique ways of combining those into something that's actually going to be a worthwhile and very valuable experience for you. So if you are somebody right now who is currently cursing AI for coming and taking your $15, $20, $30, $40 commissions, I need you to just instead think about how are you going to position yourself now and what can you offer that AI can. And look, I know this sounds weird, but honestly, if you have higher pricing, it gives you a better perception of somebody who is just going to not be able to produce what you can, how you can, and how you can deliver it. Guaranteed, try it out. So let's be real and honest with each other here. You came to your current practices because you followed someone's advice. And if you go ahead and you scour the internet, you're gonna find loads of different pieces of advice on this, all right? But here's what I want you to start to do now. I want you to really heavily scrutinize whose advice you're following, because around the time that AI became really prevalent, I just want you to consider this, friend. How did that person react to it? Because if you remember, and this still happens nowadays, as soon as AI became a really big thing and people started to perceive it like a threat, then how did influencers react? Well, they're crying about it. They're making videos where they're blubbering over it and how it's hurting them. And they're getting really angry and they're pissed off and they're screaming and yelling about it, going on these tangent rants all about it. But just to be honest with you, what did all that do? It didn't really do anything for you. It just promoted this doomsday mentality and gave people a lot of excuses as to why they couldn't really go ahead and achieve what they're put on this earth to do, which I believe you can. And I've never really done that ever. I've only ever sought to establish a counter argument because I personally believe that if I am able to give a positive influence for it, then people like you are going to be able to actually go ahead and build the art businesses that you can, just like how I've been able to. And you can do that too, friend. There's nothing special here. But what makes somebody an authority or a credible source? Well, here's some things that I would look at, because I can't tell you how many videos come out and I'm like, oh, look, somebody, again, making a video about why you do or don't get art commissions, and they don't actually take commissions, or they rarely ever do. Or here's another big one. What's the pricing like? Have you ever looked at the people that are giving you advice? Because just to be honest with you, if you are taking advice from somebody that barely ever gets commissions, and especially they can't even be comfortable charging less than a few $100s for their artwork, then why are you following them? You are just going to inevitably follow down this road that's going to lead to your artistic oblivion, friend. And I don't want that for you. I know that you deserve so much better than that. But again, it all starts with whose advice you're taking. So watch out on that. So on the topic of your art, how has it changed? How have you been improving over the years? Or here's another big question, have you not been? So just taking a look at your current artwork from year to year, from month to month, are you actually evolving yourself? Because I can't tell you how many artists, again, who used to get 84 commissions and now they get 23, and over the course of a year, the art looks the same. So here's one thing I wanna let you know, friend. If you are not green and growing, you're dead and dying. A lot of people like to talk about stagnation, but that doesn't really exist because you're either growing or you're not. And if your art isn't growing along with you, then you just gotta admit to yourself, and it's okay if you're there, friend, I'm not putting you down for it, but you fell into a comfort zone rhythm, and you need to define clarify that and just think about, what do you want to do? Do you want to increase your coloring? Do you want to do better line work? Do you want to do more realistic rendering? Do you want to do more dynamic poses? Do you want to do more dynamic light sources? You see where I'm going with this? So think about what you're doing right now and how you can represent it so that you're going to catch some more eyes, because AI users can't do that. And I say this to you because, to be honest, if I looked at my artwork from year to year and I only kept on doing the same exact thing, I might be just like you who might be watching this right now going, I'm not getting any clients and my art does look the same, and therefore I might be in the same boat as you, friend. So think about how you can start to personally evolve yourself through your artwork starting today. A big concern that I've always noticed amongst artists for a long time is how there seems to be no advocacy for us to do better. There's a lot of people, a lot of influences, personal, professionally, friendships, all this stuff that make us have this opinion of ourselves that we're not worth it, that we don't deserve more. And I want to be the counterpoint to that, friend, because you absolutely do. And if an AI user or AI's overall just presence is making you question your worth and your value, friend, you're worth so much, and people will pay for that. But if you don't believe in yourself, then you're not going to get there. You're not going to take the steps for it. And now this also brings in this topic, which is that if you are currently saying, well, AI took away my confidence, or I'm not able to do anything because of AI, friend, here's the thing you want to realize, okay? Confidence is not innate. It's not something that you either have or you don't. You're going to gain confidence by doing little things, by taking little steps towards what you actually want to do. But if you're not actually trying, even if you're trying and not succeeding, then you're never going to get there and you're never going to build that confidence. Because I was there too, friend. I had no idea what I was doing, and I have done all the same mistakes that you have. And that's why I'm here. I'm just letting you know this is how you're going to beat that system, and you can do it. A massive topic that we have to cover now is, why are you making your artwork? Because just to be real with you, art is hard. So you need to have a really deep why. Why are you actually doing this? And this bleeds into these concerns I see all the time from people saying that, and you probably have seen this stuff, right? They have massive anxiety. They're saying that, why even bother making artwork? No one's gonna see it. AI took over everything, and they have all the eyes on that, right? So I've talked with a lot of people that are even going so far as just wanting to give up, or just there's no meaning to life. They're feeling like this. But here's the thing, y'all. AI didn't do that to you, friend. And I just got to be honest with you. If AI wasn't the concern, then you'd be saying it's social media. And if social media wasn't the concern, then you'd be saying that there's not enough of a market for it. And if the market was a concern, then you'd be saying that you can't sell yourself. And if you can't sell yourself, then you would be saying that you were living in the wrong place in order to sell yourself. And now we're just traveling back to medieval times, aren't we here? So you have to recognize this. AI can't be your excuse not to make artwork, because if you're really into it for the right reasons, friends, you're doing it for you and for your personal growth and for your personal development, not for somebody else's likes or eyes. Now, if you're currently feeling like there's just no more art jobs, even after watching this and hearing me out here, I want to let you know that there are, but you might be doing some things that are causing you to get overlooked. So I want to help you actually gain those eyes and get back everything that AI might have taken from you. So make sure you check out this video right here. We're going to learn all about it. See you next time.